Here are the remarkable facts about Clint Eastwood's life at 95 that prove he's still defying every expectation Hollywood has about aging. While most actors his age retired to quiet estates years ago, Eastwood just released his 40th directorial effort, and he's already planning his next film. Clint Eastwood Jr. entered the world on May 31st, 1930, at St. Francis Memorial Hospital in San Francisco, weighing a massive 11 pounds and 6 ounces. The nurses nicknamed him Samson because of his impressive birth weight, and that turned out to be pretty fitting for someone who'd grow up to embody strength and resilience on screen. His parents, Ruth and Clint Eastwood, lived in Oakland's Lake Merritt neighborhood, but the 1930s brought constant moves along the West Coast as his father chased work opportunities during the Great Depression. By the 1940s, the Eastwoods had settled in the affluent area of Piedmont, California, but young Clint was hardly the model student. He struggled academically at Piedmont Middle School and got held back due to poor performance. His rebellious streak emerged early at Piedmont High School, where administrators asked him to leave after he wrote an obscene suggestion to a school official on the athletic field scoreboard and burned an effigy on the school lawn. He transferred to Oakland Technical High School and finally graduated on February 2nd, 1949. After high school, Eastwood worked a series of blue-collar jobs that would later shape his screen persona. He was a lifeguard, paperboy, grocery clerk, golf caddy, and forest firefighter. When the Korean War began, he got drafted into the Army, but instead of seeing combat overseas, he spent his military service from 1951 to 1953, working as a lifeguard at Fort Ord in Northern California. This period of his life, marked by discipline and routine, became foundational to his later success. The transformation from unknown drifter to television star began in 1959 when Eastwood landed the role of Rowdy Yates in the CBS Western series Rawhide. For 8 seasons until 1965, he played the cattle driver protagonist, earning $700 per episode at the start, which is roughly equivalent to $7,600 in today's money. While the pay was modest, the show gave him steady work and national recognition, but his decision to travel to Italy in the mid-1960s changed everything. Director Sergio Leone cast him in A Fistful of Dollars for just $15,000, launching what would become known as the Dollars Trilogy. In these films, he created the iconic Man with No Name character, alongside co-stars Lee Van Cleef and Eli Wallach, with legendary composer Ennio Morricone providing the haunting scores. By the time he made The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, just 2 years later, his fee had jumped to $250,000, plus a percentage of box office profits. These spaghetti westerns transformed him from a television actor into an international movie star. Returning to Hollywood, Eastwood capitalized on his newfound fame with the 1971 film Dirty Harry, which established him as the ultimate anti-hero, playing the gritty detective Harry Callahan. That same year, he made his 1971 directorial debut with Play Misty for Me, beginning a second career that would prove even more distinguished than his acting. Since 1967, he's run his own production company, Malpaso, which has produced all but 4 of his American films. His commercial success wasn't limited to serious dramas. Every Which Way But Loose, 1978, and Any Which Way You Can, 1980, featuring Eastwood alongside an orangutan named Clyde, became his highest-grossing commercial films, proving his box office appeal across genres. The numbers tell the story of an entertainment empire built over 7 decades. Eastwood's current net worth sits at an estimated $375 million, with his films collectively grossing over $2.4 billion worldwide. Forbes places his annual royalty income between $5 and $10 million, which shows the enduring popularity of his work. While he typically avoids endorsement deals, he made an exception for Chrysler's 2012 Super Bowl ad, earning a reported $2 million for his narration. His real estate portfolio reflects both his success and his connection to Northern California. For years, he owned an estate in Carmel by the Sea, which sold for $18.5 million in October 2024 after being listed for $21 million. His primary residence is a 6,136 square foot Spanish-style mansion in Bel Air, and he also owns the sprawling 1,067-acre Rising River Ranch in Bernie. Perhaps most significantly, he purchased the historic Mission Ranch in Carmel for $5.5 million in 1986, describing it as a place where I would have liked to have been raised if I had had a choice. The Mission Ranch purchase wasn't just a real estate investment, it was a preservation effort. Eastwood promised to protect the 22-acre property from developers, viewing it as a connection to California's history and his own family's future. He also joined Peter Ueberroth and Richard Ferris in purchasing Pebble Beach golf links, with each partner paying $20 million for their share in the late 1990s, ultimately securing the iconic course for $820 million. But perhaps the most surprising chapter in Eastwood's story began on April 8, 1986, when he won the mayoral election in Carmel by the Sea with a whopping 72.5% of the vote. His campaign focused on fighting bureaucracy and reducing what he saw as punitive attitudes on the city council. The position paid just $200 per month, which he donated to a local youth organization. Despite the demanding schedule of filming around the world, he flew back regularly for weekly council meetings during his 2-year term. Urban legend suggests his mayoral accomplishments were frivolous, like overturning a ban on ice cream consumption in public, but the reality was more substantial. During his tenure, he constructed public toilets and beach stairways, expanded the local library that had been waiting 25 years for improvements, and streamlined the permit process for residents. As he later explained, "We got rid of quite a lot of punitive attitudes on the council and helped people get things done. I approached it from a business point of view, not a political one." Eastwood's personal life has been as complex as any of his film plots. Twice divorced, he's had numerous relationships and is the father of 8 children by 6 different women, spanning an age gap of 43 years between his oldest and youngest. His family includes daughters Lori, Kimber, Allison, Catherine, Francesca, and Morgan, plus sons Kyle and Scott. Remarkably, he was unaware of his firstborn daughter Lori's existence until later in life, as she had been placed for adoption without his knowledge in 1954. His son Scott has become the most famous of his children, following in his father's footsteps as an actor, while initially using the surname Reeves to avoid accusations of nepotism. Kyle became an accomplished jazz musician who has contributed music to several of his father's films, including $1 Million Baby and Gran Torino. Daughter Allison transitioned from acting to running the Eastwood Ranch Foundation, a non-profit animal welfare organization. In 2024, Eastwood faced personal loss when his longtime partner, Christina Sandra, died at age 61 from a heart attack on July 18th. They had been together for a decade, and he released a touching statement saying, "Christina was a lovely, caring woman, and I will miss her very much." His son Scott later told People magazine that his father was doing good and described him as a survivor, a trooper, noting that his ability to cope with grief comes from his stoic upbringing during the Great Depression and World War II. Despite approaching his 95th birthday, Eastwood shows no signs of slowing down. His latest film, Juror Number 2, premiered at AFI Fest on October 27, 2024, and was released by Warner Brothers on November 1st. The courtroom drama marks his 40th directorial effort and received positive reviews from critics, with IndieWire calling it one of the best studio films of 2024. The film was named one of the top 10 films of 2024 by the National Board of Review, and respected filmmakers like Luca Guadagnino and Whit Stillman cited it among their favorite films of the year. The production of Juror Number 2 carried special significance as Kiefer Sutherland earned his role by writing to Eastwood, expressing his admiration and desire to work with the director before his retirement. This created a full-circle moment, since Kiefer's father, Donald Sutherland, had previously starred with Eastwood in Kelly's Heroes and Space Cowboys. However, Warner Brothers gave the film limited theatrical release in fewer than 50 theaters, a decision that sparked controversy among film enthusiasts. Industry sources suggest this represented a gesture of gratitude toward Eastwood rather than confidence in the film's commercial prospects. At 94, Eastwood has become an anomaly in modern filmmaking, continuing to create mid-budget, character-driven dramas for adult audiences that major studios have largely abandoned. The secret to Eastwood's longevity lies in surprisingly simple principles. His wellness routine includes daily transcendental meditation, which he began practicing decades ago. He follows what he calls the 90-10 rule, eating lean and green meals 90% of the time, while allowing himself occasional treats for the remaining 10%. His diet emphasizes lean proteins like salmon and chicken, complemented by dark leafy vegetables including kale, spinach, broccoli, and asparagus. This commitment to health began early in his life. The loss of his father to cardiovascular disease when Eastwood was young left an indelible mark, making him realize that life can be short and motivating him to take care of himself. When talk show host Jimmy Kimmel once asked if he indulged in nachos or chicken wings, Eastwood's response was characteristically blunt. None of that crap. His approach to exercise is equally straightforward, focusing on gentle, low-impact activities rather than intense workouts. Combined with his meditation practice and disciplined diet, this routine has sustained him through 7 decades of demanding film production schedules. Eastwood's career achievements read like a masterclass in sustained excellence. Since his directorial debut in 1971, he has directed 39 narrative feature films, 16 of which earned a collective 47 Oscar nominations and 13 wins. He remains the oldest recipient of the Academy Award for Best Director, winning at age 74 for $1 Million Baby. His highest-grossing directorial achievement came with American Sniper, which earned over $547 million worldwide. Over his career, he has directed 5 actors to Academy Award-winning performances: Gene Hackman in Unforgiven, Tim Robbins and Sean Penn in Mystic River, and Morgan Freeman and Hilary Swank in $1 Million Baby. His honors include 4 Academy Awards, 4 Golden Globe Awards, 3 Caesar Awards, and an AFI Life Achievement Award. In 2000, he received the Kennedy Center Honors, and in 2010, President Barack Obama recognized him with an Arts and Humanities Award, calling Eastwood's films essays in individuality, hard truths, and the essence of what it means to be American. The financial success of his films has been equally impressive. Gran Torino became the highest-grossing film of his career, earning over $268 million worldwide. Even Juror Number 2, produced on a mid-$30 million budget, demonstrates his ability to create compelling cinema efficiently and economically. Despite persistent death rumors that have circulated since 2017, Eastwood remains very much alive and active. These hoaxes, which resurface every few months on social media and fake news websites, have been repeatedly debunked by fact-checkers. In June 2025, an Austrian tabloid published a fabricated interview claiming Eastwood was retiring due to health issues. In response, Eastwood issued a statement calling the interview entirely phony and confirming he had never spoken to the publication. The reality is quite different. Producer Tim Moore, who has worked with Eastwood for 23 years, addressed retirement speculation at the Juror Number 2 premiere, saying, "Who knows? He's been saying that for a long time. At 94 years old, he's still making films. I always said I'd retire before he did, and I haven't retired yet." True to form, Eastwood is already in pre-production for his next film, though details remain under wraps. In his characteristic understatement, he's indicated that fans don't need to worry about his retirement for a long time. Family continues to provide joy and motivation. His daughter Morgan married Tanner Koopmans in June 2024, and they welcomed daughter Cleo in September 2024, making Eastwood a grandfather once again. His daughter Francesca announced the arrival of her second son in October 2025, expanding the Eastwood family tree even more. Recent photographs show Eastwood looking healthy and engaged, dispelling concerns about his well-being. His ability to cope with personal losses while maintaining professional productivity speaks to the resilience that's defined his entire career. As his son Scott observed, this strength comes from a generation that saw a lot of struggle during the Great Depression and World War II. Looking at Eastwood's life now, what emerges is the portrait of a man who's successfully navigated Hollywood's treacherous waters for over 6 decades, while maintaining his independence and artistic vision. He's built not just a fortune, but a legacy that spans multiple generations of his family. From the rebellious teenager who burned effigies to the respected statesman of American cinema, Eastwood has continuously reinvented himself while staying true to his core values. At 95, Clint Eastwood represents something increasingly rare in entertainment: authentic longevity built on talent, discipline, and an unwavering work ethic. While his contemporaries retired long ago, he continues creating, planning, and looking forward. His story isn't just about remembering a legend, it's about witnessing one that's still being written, one frame at a time.